Damn, man. CJ, I had to post this before my bedtime, but when this video drop, it's going to probably be on a Saturday morning, but let's just go ahead and get started. It's not going to be a long rant. It's going to be like 18 minutes long, so let's go ahead and get started.
I'm taking a nap. No, 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 no. This show's freaking garbage. This show sucks every week. Goodness gracious, man. Yo, listen, let me tell you something, bro. It is about what? It's like about like an hour and some change before I shut off this week's episode of Smackdown. I'm not watching the rest of this. I will catch up on what I missed and I'll add it later on in the review. But this is going to be a full-blown rant and discussion and review for the garbage we got tonight because, again, just like Raw, nothing happens on these shows. 3-hour Smackdown is unwatchable. I was literally tuning into the Knicks and Celtics game, then that became a blowout. You know, shout out to the Knicks. They got their W. Knicks are headed to the conference finals for the first time in, I think, 2 or 3 decades. So, yeah, there you have that. Congratulations to New York, you know. However, the fact is, I don't understand this absolute nonsense, man. The fact that fans have the audacity to actually think about blaming TKO or The Rock or Travis Scott for this garbage is embarrassing, man. Blame Triple H. He is the one running the show, booking the show, producing the show, writing the storylines, making the creative, and fans are blaming TKO or The Rock instead of Triple H. Do you understand how stupid this is? Because every single one of these bot fans will do anything they can to cover for this fraud, Triple H. This episode of SmackDown is a 2 out of 10 at best. At best. And you know it. Every single thing is predictable. There's no stars. It's lifeless. You can feel the energy zapped out of the arena after like the first 30 minutes at this point. None of the stuff you're watching is entertaining. The show is cooked. It's awful. I haven't watched a full episode of SmackDown before making one of these reviews in probably 2 months. That's how long it's been. You know, I have to watch like 2 hours of it, then stop, and then literally go grab some like footage, you know, saying, see what happens, see what I missed, and then add it onto the review later. Because I can't sit here for 3 hours and watch this garbage. This is embarrassing, man. I'm tired of this. Like, this is what fans do. Imagine, for example, Dr. Libations, who we're going to talk about in a second. Even though he wasn't on the show, we're going to talk about him in a second, okay? Him and Roman Reigns. If Dr. Libations, Cody Rhodes, owned a restaurant, let's call it Libation Station, guys. Come over to Libation Station and get yourself a burger, you know? You go to Libation Station. Cody Rhodes owns the restaurant, right? So the actual cooks in the kitchen make you a burger and they give you a side of libations. Let's say that the burger has food poisoning in it and tastes horrendous. These WWE bot fans are basically going to blame TKO, who owns the company, not the guy who's actually making the product you're watching, who's creating it, who's writing it, who's making the stories for it and the matches for it. No, they're going to blame the person who owns a building. That is the most embarrassing excuse to defend Triple H I've ever seen. This dude sucks, and it needs to be discussed. There are way too many jobbers on this roster. The reason why they have to do releases is because they bring on so many bums. Like Jeffrey Cobb is an absolute jobber. The tag team division is full of jobbers. Even the Street Profits, who I love, they're awesome. They're great, man, but they're not treated as that. Nathan Frazier or Axiom just pinned Montez Ford last week, and the Street Profits haven't won tag belts in 5 years since they won a month or 2 ago, man. It's over, and you know it. They come out with this new theme and get no reaction because the theme sucks. Michin comes out after 2 years straight, no reaction because she's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Chelsea Green lost the U.S. title. She didn't even win the Money in the Bank qualifier. She's not even going to win the Money in the Bank, which shows me that Chelsea Green's probably going to be an unmitigated jobber for the next year or two minimum. It's over. D-Lister Black versus Carmelo Hayes in a rematch that ends in a DQ because WWE and Triple H cannot let Carmelo Hayes, who was just fighting Cody Rhodes last year in close matches, who was the WWE champion, now he still can't pin D-Lister Black in a match. You understand how embarrassing that is? While Braun Breaker won 2 IC belts, Tiffany Stratton's the WWE champion, Lyra Valkyria is the IC champion, and the only other call-up in that group that was anywhere notable was Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes is sitting here, and he can't even pin D-Lister Black, bro. Like, Triple H does not know how to build new stars. How are you going to build the next generation when the next generation can't beat D-Lister Black? How? How is it possible? Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax, nobody cares about that match. I'm not watching that live. Come on, man. Get real with yourself. You know, The Miz is out there. He's a jobber. Sol Sikoa is a jobber. Julia's now on the SmackDown roster. To do what? To do what? To job out? She's not over. She doesn't have any promo skills ability, because I understand English isn't her first language, but at least just piece together a promo like Io Sky and have some good delivery behind it. Julia can't do that, man. It's not possible. So she's honestly not even elite in the ring either. What's her name? Io Sky, Bianca, etc. Multiple other wrestlers in ring right now are better than Julia. So stop giving me that garbage. Stephanie Vaquero is way better than Julia. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense, man. The best people you have, like John Cena, who's the WWE champion, he is a part-timer. Roman Reigns is a part-timer. CM Punk is a part-time competitor. The Rock is never going to be there consistently, probably ever again. Maybe for this upcoming Mania season if he has a program with Roman. That's it. This is embarrassing, man. Everyone's like, oh, well, these couple matches were decent. These matches were good, man. This was solid. Nobody cares. You know how many wrestling promotions that there are? You know how many matches you get weekly from wrestling content? I don't give a crap if a match is decent. Tell me a story. Give me larger-than-life storylines. Give me big, emotional, epic moments. You don't have to do it every week, because I know it's not possible to make a show great every single week, but can you at least give me one great episode in the last 8 months? Dang. I mean...
All right, let's stop. RJ wanted to say something, so let's get his point of view on SmackDown.
Yo, why are they treating everybody like New Age Undertakers and watered down Stone Cold Steve Austins on SmackDown? This is unbearable, bruh. This is idiotic. This is hypocritical, bruh. Oh my God, it's so horrible now, bruh. This ain't SmackDown. This is smack trash.
Yeah, well, yeah, shout out to RJ for speaking his mind about SmackDown, but I just wanted to play that just because I think it's good to share other people's thoughts about WWE and the main roster and other brands as well. So shout out to RJ, but let's get back to the video. Oh, by the way, if y'all have any questions on that video from RJ, go ahead and comment down below and he'll see it. He's mostly in the comment box most of the time. So if you see a username that say little RJ Breezy, that's his username. So if you have any questions for him, just comment down below. But let's get back to the video.
Come on, man. When's the last amazing episode of SmackDown that we've had? Seriously, be honest with yourself. All these video segments, they do the video segments to fill the time out, and these shows are dragging out because after like an hour and a half of watching, they'll show you the little like pop-ups on the bottom of the screen that are like, this is coming up next, and there's only like 2 or 3 things left to, to advertise for the rest of the show, yet there's still 90 minutes left of the show, which means it's just going to be a bunch of ads and fillers, man. All the segments, the matches, the promos, the backstage segments, all of it feels lifeless. The entrance music, lifeless and bad. This is an awful piece of WWE television right now, man. This product sucks. The only hope I will say, when SmackDown eventually goes back to 2 hours, which I think is next month or the month afterwards, this product should get better because you have Cena showing up semi-consistently. Cody Rhodes, will maybe be back in the mid-card to do something, or maybe he'll be feuding with Cena, so he should be back. He's apparently going to be back in the next couple weeks, apparently, so we'll see Dr. Libations here soon, okay? Roman Reigns is supposed to be back soon as well, and you'll have, like, Logan Paul will be in and out of the mix and stuff. Jacob Fatu's still there, so you'll have a couple pieces that can fill out a 2-hour show. Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, you'll still have the women's champion, Tiffany Stratton, will, I guess, be there. Naomi will be there, Jade Cargill will be there, etc., so that'll all work out. And Drew McIntyre's there as well, too. And LA Knight as well. But LA Knight is officially a jobber. He's still feuding in the U.S. Championship picture for the last, dang near going on a year at this point. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't won a world title. How can someone with that talent be that over and get nothing? But Jey Uso yeets for a couple minutes, and now all of a sudden he's winning world titles? Come on, man. This is embarrassing at this point, and everyone knows this stuff. You have all these people on the roster, and a 3-hour SmackDown feels unwatchable. That shows me that the person creating the product is not doing a good enough job, and the crowd knows it. That's why they're dead 90% of these episodes. So it is what it is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and break down the stuff that I saw, because I stopped watching like a little over an hour early. So I'm going to break down what I saw, and then I'll obviously talk about the stuff that I missed later on in the review. We'll talk about everything that happened on the episode. Now, first off, we had Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa basically go out in the ring. They're obviously still trying to dwell on this forced hate narrative and this like swelling tension between the two. There's no tension here. It's all forced. Solo Sikoa has no reason to be upset with Jacob Fatu at all. There's literally no reason for Jacob Fatu to be upset with Solo at all. And if he is upset, just beat the crap out of Solo and Jeffrey Cobb and leave. It's Jeffrey cornering a Cobb. He's a jobber. He just got beat up by LA Knight at the end of the segment, and then LA Knight ran away, because that's what LA Knight does now, I guess. But the bottom line is, it basically started with Solo Sikoa basically saying, welcome to Jeffrey cornering a Cobb, who's responsible for the U.S. Championship staying inside of this family, okay? And then Solo looks at Jacob Fatu, and he actually looks at the camera first, and he's like, when Roman Reigns lost the WWE title to Cody Rhodes, we lost everything. We lost everything. He took everything. We lost everything. I'm like, dude, can you stop repeating yourself? It's like Jey Uso on Raw. He's like, know my place? This is my place. I'm in my place. I know this place. I run this place. Shut up and cut a promo, man. To credit Solo, though, after he says this, he was about to say, I'm off the scale with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go all gas, no brakes. And then Jacob Fatu cut him off. Solo's facial expressions and line delivery are actually pretty funny. He can be a pretty funny wrestler, I believe. He's got some comedic timing to him, so I'll give him that. Then Jacob Fatu basically says the same stuff he usually says. He says, yada I mean, I'm a beast. You know what I'm saying? I'm off the scale with it. I'm all gas, no brakes with it. Line up, get in where you fit in. The usual stuff, and the crowd's overreacting to it, acting like it's something they've never heard before, which just goes to show you the current state of the fan base and the current state of WWE. You go out and say the same line 80 times in a row, and the fans will just eventually start copying you. That's all it is. The line doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be creative. Nothing. Same thing over and over again. Boom. Yada I mean. Crowd's whole chanting it. Solo mimics it, though, and says, yada I mean. He's like waving his head up and down. It's actually pretty funny. I'll give Solo that. Solo is probably the MVP of this segment because he actually entertained me and made me laugh. So I'll give him that. Then Solo Sikoa basically says, what is that thing you used to say to me, Jacob? You used to say, I love you, Solo. So what happened to that? And then he like grabs Jacob. He's like, yeah, man, what happened to it? He grabs him and pushes him a little bit. Then LA Knight's music hits. LA Knight comes out and slams Jeffrey Cobb on the table and literally runs away, and that's it. That's it. LA Knight is done. It's absolutely done, man. It's over at this point. There's no reason for LA Knight to even be on Smackdown. Put him over on Raw and have him compete for the IC championship, because this is over. It's over, and everyone knows it at this point. Then we get a triple threat. This is probably my favorite part of the night, because Alexa Bliss is just awesome at this point. I don't understand what the holdup is here. Alexa Bliss should easily be winning this Money in the Bank match, most likely. Either she should win it, or I don't even know who else is going to be in it, but we'll talk about that in a few weeks, I guess, when we get closer to it. But Alexa Bliss should probably win the Money in the Bank and eventually win a WWE title, because Alexa Bliss is just that good. Her and Becky Lynch and like Charlotte, those are the type of people you're going to consistently hear me glaze, because they actually are really great at what they do. You understand what I'm saying? And so in this match, Bliss basically carries the whole thing. Michin had one of the most embarrassing botches that I've ever seen in my life. There's a double dropkick spot with Bliss and Michin on Chelsea Green, and Michin just hits absolutely nothing. She literally just flies out of the ring and just slides out of the ring and dropkicks air, and Chelsea Green goes flying because Alexa Bliss actually made contact with her. So it was really bad, really botchy. Then after this, we basically get a bunch of filler nonsense. Michin does the long back attack, and then that's pretty much that. Chelsea Green's crying around as per usual. The whole Chelsea Green gimmick is dead. I mean, I think she was literally saying herself that she was in fear that she was going to get released a few weeks ago. I'm not surprised that she didn't, but I mean, with this type of performance, I don't know what she brings. The secret Hervis is garbage. The whole narrative of her being U.S. champion and the secret Hervis, like, this is stupid. This isn't entertaining. Who is entertained by this? I genuinely don't know. At least I'm not. I can just only speak for myself. I'm not entertained by this.
Well, if anybody should have been released, it should have been Alba Fire. She should have went along with Ella Dawn and Bella Davenport. But for some reason, y'all kept her, but she's not doing anything. I mean, you won't even put her in a match. Like, the only time you had her in a match was that Garlic match. But other than that, you haven't booked Alba Fire. I mean, why are you booking Piper Nevin, but you won't book her? You know what I'm saying? She could wrestle too. So if you're not going to book her, then you might as well release her, just like you did to Andy Hartwell. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to use her, then kick her out. You know what I'm saying? Let her go. So that way she could be free, and just maybe she'll reunite with Ella Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she'll reunite with Bella Davenport. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what they're doing. I mean, honestly, I like Secret Hernus. I mean, I think they're entertaining. I think they're funny, in my opinion. I think Chelsea Green is hilarious. I think, to me, she's funnier than Liv Morgan. At least with Chelsea, I can't see no wrong. You know what I mean? Like, with Chelsea Green, I can't see no wrong, but with everybody else, I can see it. But with her, I don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, I like Chelsea Green. She's entertaining to me. I just would hate for her to get released, but, I can't see her winning any gold again. Just because now that Alexa is back, I think Alexa might go after the United States title, but however, I still think that she might go after the tag team titles just to get back at Liv. And to me, right now, she's trying to get Charlotte to side with her, but it doesn't look like that now, don't it? But we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens next week with the triple threat match, but and then, of course, we'll see what happens Monday if Liv is coming back, but I don't know. I mean, I think right now it's we're just thinking of things and we're just coming up with theories, but right now reports are saying she's coming back very soon, but they haven't gave a specific date. But I hope what they mean by very soon, I hope they mean by 26 instead of the 19th, but everyone's saying she's coming back next week, but if there's no specific date, then, if anything, I would expect to 26 because, like I said, Finn Balor needs more time. And if he's not going to get more time, then he needs to leave the group because I can't see him staying for long, knowing that Liv Morgan is trying to find ways to get rid of him. So, but other than that, I mean, I hope Chelsea Green don't get released, but if they're not going to, do anything with her, then, yeah, I don't see anything going for her unless they're going to have her, unless they're going to have her beef with Piper, and then have those two turn against her, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Chelsea Green then hits the Sister Abigail DDT that Alexa Bliss does, and Alexa Bliss ended up getting the W after hitting a Twisted Bliss as well a couple minutes earlier. Twisted Bliss is actually a sick move, man. I feel like some male athletes should low-key take notes and start using that in their repertoire, just switch the name up or something, because that move is awesome. That's probably one of my favorite moves in women's wrestling right now, besides obviously the Soul Snatcher from Sol Ruka, and there's a couple other. Kalani Jordan has a pretty good finisher as well. Jada Parker has some creative moves with the rear view thing. Jordan Grace has a good moveset, etc. But, those are like some of my favorite moves because they're just really entertaining and they look great on screen. Now, we get out of this match. Alexa Bliss wins, obviously. You know what I'm saying? She's qualified for the Money in the Bank, which is great. That's a good booking decision there. I'll give you that. Then we get Axiom versus DIY, and this is where I basically nearly start to fall asleep. There is nothing to speak of here. Axiom wins off of a roll-up on DIY, but they pin the Street Profits clean using actual moves. Do you understand how stupid that is? Just think about that for a second. The tag team champions got pinned by a team who had been on the main roster for 3 weeks, got pinned to the actual finisher, and got actually pinned clean in the middle of the ring 1, 2, 3. But DIY loses off of a roll-up. So you can beat the tag champion straight up clean, but you can't beat DIY clean, so you use a roll-up. It's embarrassing, man. It really is. And then we get announced that it's going to be Street Profits versus Fraxium next week for that tag belts on Smackdown. Why couldn't this make Saturday Night Main Event? Well, the reason why is because Saturday Night Main Event and every PLE can only have 4 or 5 matches. So don't ever ask to get more than 5 matches on a card that isn't SummerSlam or Mania, because you're not going to get it. Now, we move on from this. We get R-Truth in an interview segment. Basically, the moral of this is that R-Truth basically saying that John Cena was his idol, and this is not the John Cena that he knows and that he grew up with, and he would never turn his back on the fans that helped him get to where he is and that supported him for the decades that he's been inside of this industry. And he says that his idol inspired him, and he's going to never give up, and if he needs to beat some sense into John Cena, he will do it. And then he announces that he actually is going to do it because at Saturday Night Main Event, it's been confirmed that we're going to get R-Truth versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. Okay? And again, this doesn't make any sense. This is the nonsensical garbage booking that I can't stop thinking about. You know what else I can't stop thinking about? Yeah, you thought I was going to do it, right? I can't stop thinking of. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that today, okay? Anyways, your boy's turning heel. You get what I mean? But the point is I can't stop thinking about Punk. You know what I mean? Now, R-Truth is fighting John Cena for the WWE title, but it makes absolutely no sense. Number one, why in the world is Gunther coming out on Raw and announcing that he's going to be getting a World Championship match? He just picks a World Championship match, and that's literally it. That's literally it, man. He just picks a World Championship spot. He's going to fight the winner of Logan versus Jay at Saturday Night Main Event. And now R-Truth, who hasn't won a singles match in who knows how long at this point, all of a sudden, R-Truth is officially fighting John Cena for a WWE title. Roman Reigns comes back after a 4-year championship reign and gets 0 title rematch. This is the type of booking that makes you just shut the show off like I did. Why would I watch this? It's clear nothing makes sense. There's no creativity. There's no effort. There's no explanation for anything. And it's not quality. The champion isn't even on the show. Why would I watch this? You understand what I'm saying? You have to just think about these things and be realistic with yourself. Why would you watch something in 3 hours of something that you know makes no sense and that you know is just absolute garbage? I'm not doing that. I'll watch an hour and a half, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll just recap the rest. That's it.
Well, I disagree. I think it makes a lot of sense because I feel like R-Truth is going to try to get John Cena to turn face again. And that's the reason why he wants to be in this match because you know, you saw what happened at the conference. I think that John Cena is being unfair with R-Truth when the simple thing to do is just, you know, put him in a match. You know what I mean? And I think this should have been a non-title match, to be honest with you. I don't think John Cena should have put his title on the line against R-Truth just because we know he's not going to win. You know, I think, in all honesty, I think that R-Truth should, you know, win this match just because, not for the title, but I'm just saying if this was a non-title match, I know for a fact that R-Truth would have won because at least, he would have, got John Cena to see something. But I feel like, I really do feel like that R-Truth is going to try to get John Cena to turn back face. And that's why I feel like this match is needed because it might lead to that storyline. So no, I think this is the right call. I just wouldn't want the title on the line just because we know R-Truth is not going to beat him for that title. However, I still want John Cena versus LA Knight or Damian Priest, but Drew McIntyre. But right now it's they're not doing that. They just but no, this makes sense to me. And honestly, I can't wait to see what R-Truth is going to do with John Cena. Hopefully he will spread nothing but positivity and love to John Cena to make him, turn back in the face, at least get close to it, to spread some type of seed. So hopefully we can see that at Saturday night's main event.
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest is basically going to be set for Saturday Night Main Event as well. We see Damian Priest cut a little video segment, and basically he's just talking about how, he's going to put an end to Drew in a steel cage match at Saturday Night Main Event. This match is probably going to be the only good match on that entire card. The card is stacked, like in terms of the names on it, but in terms of the actual quality of matches, Logan Paul versus Jey Uso might be decent, and then this steel cage match is probably going to be the best objectively in ring. So there you have that.
Well, at least he said something positive about this rivalry.
D-Lister Black versus Carmelo Hayes in a rematch. I already talked about this. There's nothing to speak of here. D-Lister Black ends up hitting Miz with the Black Mass. Miz, gets involved and causes a DQ, and then Melo hits the first 48, and then that was basically it. He ends up knocking down D-Lister Black after the match is called a DQ, and then he flexes as if there's something to be proud of here. You were fighting Cody Rhodes in WWE Championship level matches last year on Smackdown. Now you can't pin D-Lister Black, and we're sitting here flexing about this. I know for a fact that Carmelo Hayes has to be disgusted with this booking. There's no other way around it. If he's not disgusted with this booking, I would be genuinely shocked because this is embarrassing and everybody knows it at this point. Then we move on from this. We get Drew McIntyre cutting his promo, basically saying the usual stuff. I can't stop thinking about Priest, and I can't stop thinking about Punk, and I can't stop being a jobber because I can't get good booking.
Hey, for that's so disrespectful, bro.
That's what Drew McIntyre has to say here, and that's really is. He says Damian Priest is only relevant because of him, and he's been stuck in this Drew McIntyre vortex because he says Damian is obsessed with him, and because of that, it's the only reason he's relevant, and because of that, it's the only reason that Damian Priest is relevant, and then he also says that because of Drew McIntyre, that's the only reason that Damian Priest is relevant. You get the point? He said the same thing 80 times, and that was it. Then he basically announces he's going to destroy Priest and officially end him for good and send him out on a stretcher at the end of the Saturday Night Main Event match. Nothing to really speak of here. Pretty classical promo from Drew McIntyre, nothing special. One of his worst promos in my opinion. No real energy behind it, kind of mid. Then we get a triple threat qualifier between Jimmy Uso. So I got him confused because they're both jobbers, my bad. Jimmy Uso basically goes out there and fights against Rey Fenix, and then they fight Solo Sikoa. So it's a triple threat match for the Money in the Bank qualifier. Solo Sikoa ends up winning. There are some shenanigans, you know what I'm saying, with Jacob Fatu on the side. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Uso gets involved. All the stuff, you know, the mid-card picture guys are all getting involved. Ultimately, Solo benefits from all this, you know, all these shenanigans and stuff like that. And Solo Sikoa ends up getting the dub, and he is heading to the Money in the Bank. He's not going to win the match, so why should I care about this? Thank you. Let's move on.
Okay, I just want to stop the video real quick to let y'all know that Raquel got some new merch for the summer, dog. And it's black and gold. It's going down for real. Now, the price is not right, but hey, the shipping is free with the code on the bottom. So you already know, if you got an extra 40, go ahead and cop this merch. Because this merch is on fire. And this girl is on fire. Raquel is off the scale with this merch, dog. And also the link is going to be on the bio, so you already know. Let's get back to the video. Raquelio!
And as far as the stuff that was missed, there was a match with LA Knight and JC Mateo, which is what they're going to call Jeff Corn on the Cob. Obviously, I think LA Knight won this match. I'm pretty sure it was ended in a DQ, one of the two options. I don't really care. I don't really remember. And then the main event situation was Tiffany retaining versus Nia Jax, which like we already knew was going to happen. Okay. This match did seem, though, to be pretty decent, if I don't say so myself. I saw a couple of the highlights, you know what I'm saying? Saw some of the moments. Jade Cargill and Naomi got into a little bit of a brawl because Naomi was trying to get in there and use a chair and, you know, interrupt the match, but Jade got involved and kind of brawled with her, and that was that. And then Tiffany like kicked out, I think, of an Annihilator, and then Nia Jax kicked out of a Prettiest Moonsault. So it was a pretty decent match. It had some drama to it, but ultimately Tiffany retains. I'm sure, you know, either Naomi or Alexa Bliss or Jade Cargill even maybe will probably be the next WWE Women's Champion, but that's really just a situation as of now, and that's how the show ended. Because of the decent main event and then the women's triple threat earlier in the night that I thought, you know, the match wasn't that good, but Alexa Bliss was really good in the match. I'm going to go ahead and give tonight's episode of Smackdown probably a 2 out of 10, maybe a 2.5 out of 10, just because of those two little parts of the show that I thought were pretty decent. Other than that, everything else was complete and utter garbage, mediocrity, or didn't matter, or had zero reason of happening, and that's the usual case with Smackdown. So, episode gets a 3 out of 10. I'll round out to be nice. It was absolutely horrible. Thank you guys for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out in one love.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. I mean, look, I don't know what's going on. I mean, triple threat match next week. Alexa Bliss is part of the Money to Bank. But why is she still trying to talk to Charlotte? Are you still trying to get her to team up with you, or are you not? It just seems to be, I can't understand these segments because everybody's saying, oh, Alexa's going to go after the tag team title. She's going to go after the singles title. Well, it don't look like it. It seems to me like she's going after both, but at the end of the day, who is going to face Liv and Raquel for the tag team titles? Okay, the Bella Twins, we haven't heard anything from the Bella Twins. We haven't heard anything from the H sisters. What are we getting? Soruka versus Ira? Nah, bro, they're going to break up. What's the point? They're just going to prove Liv Morgan right that they're going to break up. And I even said, but here's the thing. We knew they were going to get to that way before Liv Morgan started saying anything coming out of her mouth. So it's just like, what's the point? Just take the belts off of them. They're not doing anything with it, but flexing. You know, you talk about Carmella Hayes is flexing, but Liv Morgan be flexing all the time. It's just that double standard shit, man. I'm telling you. But we'll see what happens next week in the triple threat match with Charlotte and Selena and Julia. But Julia, in my opinion, I think Julia's going to win. What the fuck? That's not an opinion. It's a fact. She's going to win unless Charlotte's going to win. But I just don't know. I mean, you can't bring Julia to the main roster to lose. So, no, she needs to win the triple threat match and be in this match because it will be good for her. So, I'm rooting for Julia. So, we'll see what happens. But this I'm getting irritated now because these rumors of Liv Morgan coming back next week is pissing me off. Because what is Finn Balor going to do? Okay, I did a poll and people said that he should leave the group. But how? How is he going to leave? Just walk away? I mean, the simple thing he need to do is just this. How about you come back to Money? How about this? Just leave in 2 weeks. I don't know, talk to JD or something. And just leave. And then just come back and Money in the Bank and cost Dom the title. Whoever he faced. Hopefully he faced Sheamus. Just cost him the title. Do that. And then, you know, and then that way, you know, people will see that you tired of the group, you're tired of the bullshit, and you want that Intercontinental title, and then start a 2-month build. That will intrigue people. I'm telling you, it will. So hopefully that happens. But for right now, we have to wait till Monday. But if Liv Morgan comes back next Monday, I don't know what fans gonna do. I say, listen, man, if you're not gonna stand up to Liv Morgan, you might as well get the fuck out. That's the only way to do it. So you can try to add Roxanne all you want, but I don't know how you're gonna do that with Liv Morgan there. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but we'll see. But y'all get in the comment box and let me know what y'all think about my Smackdown. I already know you guys gonna say it's trash. But to me, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was more focused on the women though. I didn't give a damn about the man. I did see the segment with Solo and Jacob. I thought it was good. And I did see the interview with R-Truth. I thought that was pretty good. And I will do a reaction on my Instagram. So we'll see what happens with John Cena versus R-Truth. But y'all get in the comment box. Make sure y'all comment and discuss it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll see y'all in the next video. All right? I'm out.